Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. I've just done an episode of Mank Talk with Saeed, a United fan. So I've had to deal with all that today, like you do. But listen, we've got more pressing things. Manchester City 0, Aston Villa 1. Villa Park last night, went down there. We was expecting a tough game. We was, with Rodri missing, Grealish missing, Doku missing. We was expecting a tough game. Granted, Villa not lost in 13 at home, so they're going to have the tails up. But we wasn't expecting to get twatted. We wasn't expecting to get outfought. We wasn't expecting to get dominated. We wasn't expecting to be so poor. We wasn't. And last night was poor. And, you know, Pep Guardiola and these players, they've been brilliant for us. They have. And the journey we went on last season with the treble, fantastic. But if it's not going well and they're not playing well, then we are allowed to talk about it. And we are allowed to put our feelings down and speak about it. But last night, when the lineup was announced, you've got a midfield of John Stones, Rico Lewis, and Alvarez in the 10. You've got Bernardo on the right, Foden on the left, Haaland up front. I just knew it was going to be one of them nights. I mean, you've got 6 defenders there starting. We've got no creativity. We've got nothing going forward. We've not got a player in the midfield who can put his foot on the ball and put a ball through to the best striker in the world. Pep signed 3 midfielders, Calvin Phillips, Kovacic and Nunes, and clearly does not trust any of them because none of them started in that game. Calvin Phillips is a goner. Love Calvin, goner. After that, can't get in that team, you're a goner. But it was the sloppiness. Akanji giving the ball away. Guardiola looked like he was frightened to death of it on the left every time. Every time Leon Bailey went at him, he looked like his arse had gone. This stepping into midfield thing is not working at the minute. It doesn't work when Rodri's not there because Rodri is great cover and he's busy. It didn't work. We had no outlet in the middle of the park. Every time anyone put a ball in at pace to Rico Lewis or John Stones, they were pressured. Rico getting knocked off the ball, too lightweight, for my opinion, at the minute. He didn't have the best of games. But the stats don't lie. 2 shots in the whole game. The last one was on 11 minutes. 80 minutes, no shots. 22 attempts, Villa had on goal. They were running through the midfield like no one was there. They were getting shots off from all around the edge of the box, unchallenged. Ederson basically saved our ass. Ederson did not deserve to be on the losing team for me. He didn't. He saved us. Bernardo Silva, running his nuts off again. Started on the right, got moved into centre midfield, second half, looked a bit better, then got put on the right. Alvarez in a number 10. It's not working, people. It's not working. It's not working. You've got a better number 10, yeah? Obviously, last night he couldn't play, but you've got a better number 10 in your team, in your squad, Jack Grealish. If Doku's going to play on the left, play Grealish behind Haaland. Let Grealish and Haaland get that partnership up. While Kevin De Bruyne's not here, we're looking for somebody in the middle of the park that can go left, go right, play through balls, shoot. Jack Grealish. You paid 100 million for him. I've been saying it before. Play him as a 10. There's no creativity from Alvarez. He gets the ball, no problem. He lays it off, that's it. When teams are countering attackers on us, he runs around, he gets knocked off the ball, he doesn't put a tackle in, or he fouls. His first touch is quite poor. You know, I'd rather have Alvarez on the bench, Grealish in the 10. If it's not working, you've got someone like Alvarez you can bring off the bench to liven it up a bit. Look at the bench yesterday, I've written it down. Yeah? This is the bench. Calvin Phillips, defensive midfielder. Nathan Ake, left back, centre back. Kovacic, defensive midfielder. Nunes, not a clue what he is. Sergio Gomez, crap. Oscar Bob, young lad. Ortega, goalie. Scott Carson, goalie. Now, we're getting beat at Aston Villa. There's no one on that bench you can bring on other than Oscar Bob that maybe can do something. He brings him on, did nothing. Yeah? The team is light. This myth about having a squad of fucking 40 players and we've got all these great players in different positions is lies. You look at that to tell you that our squad is light. You look at that bench to tell you that there's no spark there. There's nothing to bring on. We're crying out for creativity. We're crying out for Kevin De Bruyne back. But we can't rely on Kevin. If he gets injured again, we're snookered. We've got to have somebody coming through who can play in that 10 role. You can't get a striker, a young striker from South America, and try and turn him into a 10 when his first touch is really, really bad. Because if you've got a number 10, your first touch has to be bang on. You're playing behind the striker. You need to get it at your feet, first touch, and get it out of your feet. He can't do that. He can't do that. Erling Haaland yesterday, absolutely frustrated to death, fuming, throwing his hair about and all that. Not his own fault. He was coming deep. He was winning the ball. He never lost the ball, Haaland. He got it on his chest. He was fighting with him and all that. He lays it off wide. There's a chance to cross. What do? Pass it back to the midfield. What does he do? Pass it back to Ederson. Yeah? Villa fans said to me, why did you keep getting it on the edge of the box and then going all the way back to Ederson? I said, because A, we don't put crosses in, and B, we didn't have a clue. And we didn't have a clue. We were clueless. And it was the manner of performance that's hard to take. We looked shocking. We did not look like a team that had just won the treble. Are we tired? Don't know. Are we suffering from a bit of a treble hangover? Don't know. Is Pep looking frustrated? He looks frustrated to me. Don't know about you. He looks frustrated to me. But things have got to change. Man City never go out in January really and buy anyone. But I think this January transfer window is key. I think it's so key to the rest of this season. I don't think we've got a run in us with this squad. I don't think this squad is capable of a run like last year. Last year we had Ilkay Gundogan. We had Riyad Mahrez. We had Emerick Laporte. We had all these players coming in. We were rotating nice. The bench looked fresh. Certain games we looked like we could bring 3 or 4 off the bench and change the game totally. You ain't changing the game with that bench. Nowhere. He brought Kovacic on side to side. Boring. Nunes, side to side, starts backheeling it in the box. Not good enough. Calvin didn't even get a game. Oscar Bob, young kid, did nothing. So, yeah, I'm frustrated. We've had 3 draws and a loss. We're losing points. Man United, we're giving shit to them the other week about being terrible. They're 3 points behind us now. 3 points. And we've got to go to Luton at weekend. Luton against Arsenal were brilliant. They're going to put it on us like no tomorrow. They're going to put long ball after long ball after long throw in. They're going to put it on us. They can sense blood, Luton, and they're going to go for us. If I'm the manager of Luton, I'm putting it over Guardiola's head. I'm putting it on Akanji. I'm fucking knocking fuck out of Akanji in that middle because he's, for a big man, he gets knocked all over the park. And Guardiola doesn't want a ball over his head playing at left back. So play Nathan Ake, in my opinion. But listen, I'm pissed off and frustrated like everyone. We've got to get back to the drawing board. Pep has got to come up with something. The Jack Grealish in the 10 for me is vital. We've missed a trick with it. We've had Jack Grealish sat on the bench in games when we've had Doku playing and we've had no creativity in the middle of the park and he's sat on the bench. Bring him on in the 10. I'm telling you now, Jack Grealish in the 10, it will work. But I'm not the manager. I'm not Pep. I'm frustrated. I don't like getting beat. We've set certain standards at this football club now. As a fan base, we expect certain standards. We can't let them drop. So people that think, oh, Big Steve's having a moan and that, I'm not having a moan and I'm not criticising players. I'm allowed to criticise players after that performance. I'm criticising that performance and the last 3 performances where we're dropping silly points. We are basically handing these teams points. We turned up at Villa last night and we didn't look like we was ever going to win. Nobody in the stand thought we was going to win. And after 10, 15 minutes, you realise that we're not even creating chances. Villa should have been 4 or 5 clear. So it's frustrating. It is frustrating. We've got to buy in January, in my opinion. Tixie Buggerstein's got to go out there and pull the trigger on a couple of signings in January, even if the signings that he didn't want to make till the summer and he's got to pay an extra 30, 40 million for him. I don't care. you're going to create a monster. You're going to create an issue in this fan base, because last night there was already people arguing amongst themselves. There was already people walking out in disgust. Whether some people are entitled, I don't know. Whether some people are just used to winning and they think that we've got to win every game, I don't know. But I just think it was the manner of the performance and the way we lost that upset people and got on the case, you know what I mean? People's coming up to me saying, Steve, what do you think? And I'm like, look, we've got no Rodri, we've got no Grealish, we've got no Doku, we've got no De Bruyne. If they're in the squad, it's a different game, I get it. But they're not in the squad. We've got to have enough people in the squad and beyond the squad to fucking win them games. We've got to do it. But anyway, it's Luton at weekend, Sunday, Kenilworth Road. Managed to get a ticket, so I'll be down there. We've got to bounce back. You know what I mean? Rodri will be back. Grealish will be back. Doku maybe. We've got to have an emphatic win and bounce back. We've got to do. We can't let this snowball now into a bigger effect and let everybody come down on us. Everyone's trying to kick us anyway. So we've got to nip it in the bud early doors. We've got Luton and Palace before we got to the World Club Cup. 2 wins is a must against them 2 teams. We beat them 2 teams. We go to Saudi Arabia and we win the World Club Cup and become champions of the world. The whole club gets a lift and a boost. The fans get a boost. And then we come back after Christmas and fucking hit it flat out. That's what we need to do. Anyway, Blues, I'm not going to go on and bore you for too long. I've had a few streams today, so I was just putting my thoughts down. But at the end of the day, keep the faith. We've been in worse positions than this. Last season, we were in a mini crisis like this and everyone got on our case and we won the league. Let's hope Pep and the coaching team can get it together. Let's hope some of these players can start having a look at themselves and knuckling down, and let's move forward as a team and together. Don't fall for all the bullshit online. Don't get dragged into arguments and all this and shit like that. Somebody messaged me before Pep out. I just blocked him because he's obviously a lunatic. So at the end of the day, we're not falling for it. Keep the faith, keep going. We'll see you all at Luton at weekend. Come on, sir.